At the African Cup of Nations in Morocco, Bafana Bafana will take on seven-time champions Egypt in Agadir. That's tomorrow, with a superior head-to-head record. The two teams have played each other 14 times so far. Bafana won 8 of those games, while 2 of the matches ended in a stalemate. A win against the Pharaohs will guarantee Bafana a place in the last 16 of the AFCON qualifications. Egypt are ranked 35th in the world, while South Africa occupies 61st spot, or the 61st spot, I should say. For more on this, let's go live to Morocco now. Bring in SABC News sports reporter Sifiso Ramara, who's keeping an eye on things from the AFCON tournament. Sifiso, how are Bafana preparing ahead of the big match tomorrow?
Good evening to you, Tembegile, and good evening to the viewers back at home. I'm coming to you live from Agadir. This is the very last training session for Bafana Bafana ahead of the big one against Egypt tomorrow. Like you said in your intro, this is an epic battle between the two football playing nations. Although Bafana Bafana are ahead in terms of the wins, but Egypt, they've won the most important matches. I mean, we look at the AFCON tournament. Egypt, they've won twice, with Bafana winning only one. And I remember those 3 games vividly. The first match was in 1996, back at home when South Africa hosted the Africa Cup of Nations. We were in the same group with Egypt. They beat us 1-0. I think it was in the opening match. Then 2 years later, we met with Egypt in Burkina Faso. It was in the final. Egypt beat us 2-0. With Bafana, collecting a silver medal in that tournament. Then, quite recently in 2019, Thembinkosi Lodge did the unthinkable. I mean, at the Cairo International Stadium, Egypt, they were hosting the Africa Cup of Nations. They were the overwhelming favorites to do well, in front of their home supporters. But that did not happen. They lost to Bafana Bafana in the last 16, and it was a very big disappointment in Cairo. There's a lot, to say about this clash between the two nations. But let me bring in Leonard Solms from ESPN Africa to try and talk about tomorrow's match. Leonard, thank you very much, man, for your time. What kind of match do you expect Egypt, Bafana Bafana?
I expect this game to be cagey at the beginning, but as it opens up, I think we'll see some moments of magic. What's really exciting me is that Bafana Bafana are a team that we saw against Angola playing out from the back, playing some really exciting football. But now there's going to be a big challenge on Hugo Broos's hands as he tries to figure out how to maintain that identity while also dealing with the incredible attacking talent that Egypt have, the likes of Mo Salah, Omar Marmoush and Trezeguet.
But a lot of people are saying both teams did not play well in their opening matches. We saw Bafana against Angola scoring first, allowing Angola to come back, into the game, and they scored the winner, I think, with 11 minutes remaining. With Egypt, it was even worse. Mo Salah brought his magic and scored the winner. I think it was in injury time. Are you expecting, an improvement from the performance of both sides?
I am indeed expecting an improvement from both sides. I think that there's very few teams right now in the Africa Cup of Nations that really look like they're fully where they want to be. I think it's the nature of the tournament. These players have only had a certain amount of time together. There was obviously some debate about when exactly these players were going to be released by their clubs. But I think that the second round of fixtures, we are going to see some improvements from the big teams. The first round, all they had to do was get the job done, get the win. I think Bafana Bafana, already in the second half against Angola, we saw a massive improvement. Egypt in the second half against Zimbabwe found their rhythm, and I think that we're going to see a game of football that's much easier on the eye this time around.
Where will this game be won?
I think it will be won in how the balance can be struck out wide, because Bafana Bafana I think really did some impressive work out wide. Both the fullbacks and also the wingers. We saw the likes of Aubrey Modiba getting up and causing some havoc among the Angolan defence. We saw Tsepang Moremi come off the bench, produce a brilliant performance that Hugo Bruce keeps raving about. But against Egypt, with the talent they have out wide, I mean, I don't think I need to say anything about Mo Salah. What a talent. And I think he will be fired up for this fixture. He was part of the team that lost to Bafana Bafana, as you mentioned, in 2019. He will certainly want a better performance individually and from a team perspective. And also, with everything that's happening at Liverpool, he has a point to prove. And Mo Salah with a point to prove is an even more dangerous Mo Salah.
A lot of people, obviously, even you now, you're talking about the attack of Egypt. But I listened to the Egyptian media. They are worried about the defense of this team.
About Egypt's defense or Bafana Bafana?
Egypt's defense. They say it's not that great. It did not look good against Zimbabwe. I'm not sure how you saw the match.
There's certainly some gaps that can be exploited, but I think in this fixture, as I said, the first half, I would actually be surprised if it's a really wide open game. I think the first half will be quite cagey. The second half, that's when we'll see the magic, similar to Bafana Bafana against Angola. I think Bafana are a very strong defensive unit, but even for South Africa, there is some room for improvement. I thought that the way that they dealt with set pieces against Angola was a little bit concerning. So definitely both teams can improve. From both an offensive perspective and a defensive perspective, but I'm not expecting a very high-scoring game. I would be quite surprised if it was.
Thank you very much, Leonard. Yeah, that's Leonard Solms from ESPN Africa. The other point that I must raise is that the current coach of Egypt, he played against Bafana Bafana in 1998 in Burkina Faso, Hossam Hassan. He finished as top goal scorer of the tournament alongside our own Benny McCarthy. So this is a guy who also knows, the ins and outs about Bafana Bafana.